Hello everyone. In this video, I will be reviewing your Deltarune hot takes. Let's get into it. Firstly, we will be starting with the joke hot takes. Obviously, not everyone took it as seriously as I hoped, which is still alright. I'm still going to be reviewing them. The first joke hot take is Anti-Council, who said, "I support long shoe theory," which I'm pretty sure is about like the Noel's shadow during the Weird Out Lake scene. Could be wrong. And you know what? Sure, man. Do what you want. Except disobey this council. Next is a person who I will not try to pronounce the username for, and they say that flowery is flowy, which I have to say, kind of. They're both a golden flower that gained life in some sort of way, but they really not. That's it for the joke hot takes. Alright. Ghost Dude Ghostly says, he has 3 actually. Terracotta, which is, if you don't know, is the enemy you have to fight with the watering can, is annoying to battle, which I 1,000,000,000% agree with. This is not a hot take at all. He also says that he'd be disappointed if Birdly did not show in another Dark World, which also extremely fair. And then thirdly, they say that the knight is the most fun fight in the entire game, which, you know, that's fair. That's fair. It is a fun fight. I'm not sure which I would think my favorite fight is, but Knight's definitely up there. So I don't think any of these takes are that hot at all. Alright, Flowery says that they think Relsay is better than Chris and Susie, which, according to their username, that's not very likely. But I do have to agree to an extent. Relsay is definitely one of, if not my favorite character, but I feel like both Susie and Chris have a lot more depth built on the character that we haven't really gotten to see with Relsay as much yet, other than a bit of Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. I feel like Relsay has the potential to go above and beyond, but I wouldn't say that he's necessarily better character. Alright, Mr. Shorts Boy says that the knight is not anyone and that it is just a hollow suit of armor. I extremely disagree with this take. I know a lot of people say it, but we have confirmation in one of the scenes that it is not. We see Chris deliberately stops us from thinking about who the knight actually is under the armor, because they block out the knight, the image of the knight without their helmet on. So, yeah, no, this has been disproven, buddy. Asta says, screw Chapter 5, because it did not answer any of the burning questions that we've had, which, this is another one I extremely disagree with. I love Chapter 5, easily my favorite chapter, and I think that we should just trust Toby. I feel like he's got this in the bag. We will learn the stuff we need to learn, kind of like how we did in Undertale, where most of the stuff was near the end. Okay, Ravendark says that they prefer the weird route over the normal route because they get a sick joy out of watching Chris and Noel suffer, which, you know what? I won't judge. I feel the same way about the Undertale genocide route. It hurts me killing like only one monster in the entire game. However, killing everybody, that gives me extreme joy, and I cannot explain it. Okay, Arblair says that one Seth Flowery attack is hard. I'm assuming they're talking about the one where you have to go between the letters, which, you know what? I agree. It's not something I would usually die on if I remember my Lowry fight well enough, but I definitely got hit a lot during that attack. It was extremely annoying. Okay, Purduck says that Chapter 5 is not that hard, which, you know what? Fair. It wasn't definitely the hardest chapter. I still died quite a bit because I suck at the game. But, yeah, you know what? That's fair. The real Relsei Deltarune says that Jevil is harder than the Roaring Night fight, which, you know what? They're right. I will die on that hill. When I replayed the game to play the weird route, I died to Jevil countless times. However, when I got to the Roaring Night in that playthrough, I didn't die once. And despite Jevil being my personal favorite secret boss, yeah, Jevil's pretty hard, especially at the start of the game, when you aren't that, stacked in your gear and weapons and stuff. So yeah, 100% agree, no questions. Okay, Kaizo Knight says that Relsei will be the secret boss of Chapter 7 Side B with the Knight on their side. Personally, I don't think this is that crazy. I do think Relsei is going to be, if not a boss, an antagonistic role in Side B of Chapter 7. However, the final boss, in my opinion, is going to be Susie, who's going to have a Shadow Crystal, and that's going to be how you get the 5th Shadow Crystal in order to make the Twisted Sword, which will basically be the equivalent of killing Flowey at the end of the Undertale genocide route. Alright, Asgore's dead brother says we will never truly see Gaster in Deltarune, and that he was not involved with creating the soul, and that the soul is really the demon Caddy and Chris summoned as a kid. I disagree with that latter bit. The soul is not the demon. The demon was a one-off bit. I don't think that actually had any importance whatsoever. I don't think we'll see Gaster directly, but we will get a name drop, and I think this Gaster figure will really be the light world or / dark world version of ERAM from the TV World game. Dr. Pepper says we are unable to see the knight in the light world because since the black shard stays the same in the light world and in the dark world, it must mean that their armor does as well, which I disagree with. I think that we will see, or at least are able to see them in the light world. However, I don't think that's how they're going to be revealed. I think it's going to be their helmet will break and it'll be a big reveal. Personally, I'm a Carol Knight person, so I think that's going to be really shocking to Noelle, and that's the big secret we're going to learn in Chapter 6, right before the Knight causes the roaring. Okay, last one before I tell you guys my personal Deltarune hot take. We have I Am Mike II saying that Kaka is not cute. And to that, I say, screw you, man. He is the best Nyan and will be protected. Alright. To conclude the video, I will tell y'all my Deltarune hot take, which is Chapter 4 is not only overrated as hell, but it's not even top 3 chapters. Top 3 chapters are Chapter 3 at number 3, Chapter 2 at number 2, and Chapter 5 at number 1. I will die on this hill. Well, that was me reviewing your Deltarune hot takes. Should I do more of this? Is there any other content you guys would like to see? Let me know. Bye.